Welcome everyone. This is Marie Wade, and we are here at the Zoom Talk. And this time I have such an amazing friend who is going to give us a lot of good information about what he does. His name is Wallace Lynch. Hi, Wallace. How are you doing?
Good afternoon, Marie. Hi,
Yes.
everyone.
All right. So, Wallace, you and I met at the University Club. I was invited by David Smith at his group event, and I had to do a presentation over there, and then that's where I met you. Am I right?
Yes, we met
Yes.
at University Club.
Yes, and I am really curious about what you do because we had such a short time really understanding your business and my business. So I want to take this time to learn more about it and your background. So if you can just share as your humble beginnings, let me know how it all started for you. So is that good?
Sure, definitely.
Okay,
And thank you for your invitation. Yeah,
you're
university
welcome.
is a great club to social and to meet great minds like you. And I was very impressed by your presentation. The
Oh,
first
thank you.
And me, myself, I am an IT entrepreneur. So I am creating and deploying a decentralized technology framework to protect our digital assets. And frankly speaking, this is a very important step that we are going to live into the next phase of our digital life. So this
Okay.
is what I'm doing. It sounds a little bit abstract, but to be more tangible, it is basically what you created digitally, no matter it's your video, your interview, or your article, that you're supposed to have the digital assets owned by yourself, managed by yourself, and it will create a certain value, no matter it's a lot or a little. You need to be able to trade it and enjoy the interest of your own intellectual property. But the problem is currently on the centralized internet, nobody has the control over your own intellectual property digitally, like your
Oh,
browsing history, your metadata that you created, you generated, but you neither have access nor have control, and let alone to make profit out of it. So the technology framework I'm building, it is to build a tool set that everyone can protect our own digital assets, manage it, and trade it for whatever price that you deserve to. So
okay.
that's the general work I'm doing.
Wow, that's really interesting. So, Wallace, what was your background? Has it always been in technology?
I have been running my technology company in the last 10 years,
Okay.
but my original background is actually in the media. I was trained as a, yes, I was trained as a media
That's so awesome.
long time ago. Yeah.
Okay.
So when I came to the US, I worked in a couple of TV and radio station as anchor and producer and directors. And then I
Wow.
went to Columbia University to get my graduate study done. I had 2 degrees, one master, one PhD in international and transcultural studies, and also in labor economics. So basically, my interest is in the value of human. So we as a human is very, very different from other beings on the earth. And what we have in our mind and our creativity, it creates tremendous amount of value. But how do we manage them and make it serve ourselves and our society? So that's all my interests are. Then
Wow.
after that, I went to university to teach as an associate professor for a while, 9 years to be specific.
Oh my gosh. That's awesome.
Then I started up my IT company,
Okay.
starting to working on some very fundamental problems, and of course, very fundamental promising and opportunities towards our digital living. Yeah.
Wow, I didn't know that about you. That is so cool. How did you meet David Smith?
Oh, David is a longtime University Club member that we have some communication, and he invited to his entrepreneurial talk in the morning.
Okay.
I regularly attend his activity. Yeah.
Okay, I see. And it was really interesting how you and I connected, because for that short period of time that you and I talked about, I mean, all of a sudden you are bringing all these people to me, such a great connection for what I'm doing for the future projects that I have. And I'm so thankful for that connection that you're doing for me. I mean, right now, I mean, we're talking about doing a movie project, which is wow. And it's such a great blessing from you to be able to give me that connection.
Yeah, I'm happy to be of help, and if there's anything that can really elaborate the human value of my friends, I, I'm happy to be of support. I
Wow.
think this is very um, um, graceful that if I can have connection with great intelligent people like you,
Oh
and
my God, thank
that
you.
we would like to make value of our value to help the society. For example, your family history is really, really fascinating. Your father, your uncle, your grandpa. So they brought a whole wealth of the history and family legacy, and we should let everybody know, and it will educate the next generation and generations to engage their proactive life to make contribution to the society. So that
Wow.
really inspired me. I learned a lot from you as well.
Well, thank you so much. I mean, I've benefited from all of that from my family generation. So it was such a great opportunity for me to highlight them and to inspire a lot of people too from what they've done all over those years. But one thing I want to go back to what you were doing. So for the people that are listening this show, in regards to what you do, so if they have a business, and how can they start using or benefiting from your project or from your program? How
Okay,
does that work, and how does it start?
very good question. So the technology framework, it is a fundamental technology. So it is not something that you can tangibly work, but we created tools like mobile application that is
Okay.
can everybody can use. For example, Akitalk. So this is one of my product based on the technology framework that I built. So it is a mobile language learning tool. Currently has 4 options. It has English, Espanol, Chinese, and Japanese, and is adding more languages. So you
Okay.
can help people to use your fragmental time to engage in different language learning. It is very convenient to use. You only need to spend like 15-30 seconds to learn a useful and functional conversation. So you don't
Oh,
need to engage in like an hour or two. Probably you don't have time for that. So it's fragmental learning tool, and it's a free tool. So just go to App Store or Google Play, put in Aki Talk, AKI Talk, and
okay.
you can download to learn it. This is one of the product. And we also are developing a product to help people to go to church online. It's called App Church, because
Oh, wow.
churches are closed down and we can't have the physical connection, but we still need to share our needs, connect, and also do our worship. And how do we do that? So we are crafting a church app. It's called appchurchglobal.org. It is
Okay.
a nonprofit. And we also have browser. It's called Alpha Browser. This is the first mobile browser to protect our digital assets. And it's much faster than the other browsers because it doesn't have the spam. And also it strictly protects everybody's intellectual property and your privacy. So just go to App Store or Google Play, check out Alpha Browser. So we have a lot of different products that people can enjoy and test it out. What does it mean to have your own digital assets and your privacy protected?
Okay. So for example, I have a church, actually, I was actually talking to the pastor, and he said that he's having trouble doing live streaming, which
Mhm.
I think they're learning right now, and they're able to do it live on Facebook. So what you're saying, is it better for them to have a mobile app rather than doing live on Facebook or live on YouTube? Is that what you're saying?
Um, Church life has multiple aspects. You go to church for sermon, you talk to pastor for counseling, you talk to your church fellow churchgoers for your communication, and you organize volunteer projects, Bible studies in different time and schedules. So
Okay.
all these tasks, you need to use different tools. For example, if you want to go to virtual sermon, then you probably go Zoom or YouTube or other tool. And then if
Okay.
you want to talk to your church members, you probably need to use Messenger or WhatsApp or whatever. So you need to juggle among different apps. It is very inconvenient because people might have WhatsApp, but they might not have Facebook at the same time, or they don't
Okay.
want to use it at the same time. So we consolidate all these functionality into one complete church app. So it is a one-stop shop and all-in-one solution for all your needs for your church life.
Okay. So for example, I have a company which is called Fire Up Connect,
Mhm.
and I have members in that group, and we actually meet once a month or twice a month, and then we talk about projects that we want to work on.
Mhm.
So how does that apply with what you have? I mean, I'm trying to. I think I have an idea of how it will work, but um, I think I'm still confused. Okay, so you have the mobile app, and if I create one for Fire Up Connect, I get to communicate with them through the app, just using your phone. Is that what it is? It's just automatic communication.
Yeah, you can do chat, you can do group chat, you can transfer files, and you can share your opinion. You can do blogging, you can do commenting, you can also share external links. And if you have proprietary content or internal content that you can publish within your group or your company, that only the member can get access and it's blockchain protected. So that's a full fledged of
Okay, so instead of using email, instead of using text messaging,
Mhm.
instead of using the website, you have an app that will just, put everything in
It's
one.
a full suite. Yes.
Oh, wow. That'd be so convenient. Now, are we talking about, I guess, for someone to do something like this, uh, what's the ballpark in terms of, you know, funding this kind of project?
It depends on how complicated and how extensive the functionality you want.
Okay.
So we have a technology framework which is very, very powerful and comprehensive. So you can have 5 functions or you can have 100 different features. So of course, the more features, the more extensive that you want, the bigger the operational and initiation cost it will be. So that's something that it depends on um, the customer or client's specific requirement specification.
Okay.
Let's take an example of App Church. So App Church, it is a common platform, mobile platform we built for churches. So any church will be able to use it. And the basic customization, it's very simple. Any church can just change their logo and flip on their service. And if a certain church or a certain group would like to more customize the feature, then we can develop for them, but with a certain cost. It's like if you just buy a generic car, then you just go to the dealership,
Yes.
buy it.
Okay.
But if you want to customize it, then you need to order different parts and do different modification.
Okay, I see. Wow, that's actually a really, really cool program you have. And I hope people can ask you more about it. What's the best way for them to get more information or to even reach out to you?
Sure, definitely. So simply to put it out, you can go to akitalk.com to
Okay.
check out this product, and they can also contact me, and they are welcome to go to our company's main website, um, go to atoken.org to get in contact with me.
Okay, that's amazing. Well, Wallace, how is everything with you with being quarantined? I mean, did the business change, or is it better, or you had more clients because they're all staying at home?
Well, this is a very interesting pivotal point of our society, just like 9/11 changed the way that we lived. Uh, this whole COVID-19 pandemics also changed the perspective globally towards the future. Some of the aspect, for example, digital church, it used to be a nice to have alternative, but now it's a necessary mandate tool for every church to use. So it
Okay.
really changed the way that we communicate and we do business. I would say the whole pandemic really posed a big challenge to the global economy, and we will have at least 5% decline of the national GDP, and the global GDP will probably drop 15 to 20% by a certain estimate. So this is not a good news for the economy anywhere.
Mhm.
However, within different sectors, I would say the IT industry
Okay.
will have a very important pivotal point to enter a mainstream society. Although IT is everywhere now, but to the more traditional way of living or sectors, people still think this is nice to have alternative. But with this pandemic, social distancing, quarantine, lockdown, then it becomes the only viable vehicle that we can conduct business or social connection. So this becomes a mandatory tool. So it is
Okay.
very
Yeah,
important.
it makes sense to me too, because that's what I'm doing now, just communicating with people. It's all through technology. If it weren't for the Zoom call, we won't be able to communicate with people. And with what you're doing, you're actually making it more efficient for people to manage everything, because I'm looking at my phone, I'm looking at my computer, and then I'm doing so many things. And if you try to make it more efficient, I think it's going to be a lot better for people.
Yeah, not only more efficient, because we are so seriously engaged in our digital life. So
Yes.
we consider that how we can run this as a norm, as a business. Because if you are creating value, but you are not managing and you cannot profit from your own value, then it's basically you are enslaved. That's what happened to every digital citizen nowadays.
I
We are
see.
creating digital assets every day, every second. We are using internet, but we neither know where to access our own data, nor has the control over this data. And thinking about this is a huge, huge problem for everyone. And there is no tool to help people to make sure that this is in our control. And we are a technology company to create such a framework. And we
Okay.
create a framework for institutional clients, and we also produce individual products that customers and users can use. So for institutional clients, that our framework, it is fundamentally different from the traditional centralized technology. So in terms of the cost, we know along with the usage and the traffic, the per bit usage cost will go up.
Okay.
More user will have more traffic, then the unit cost will go up. But because of our decentralized architect, our per unit operating cost is actually going down for institutional users.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good to know.
So it is very, very economical in a long term. And having said that, our ecosystem that aiming to provide an uninterrupted, undestructible, and tamper-free internet, which means the security will be much better than the existing system. For example, Zoom has been criticized by a lot of institutions, public, private, for their
Yes.
security settings. So this is our strong end. First, it's extremely secure, extremely
Okay.
private. Second, the operational cost is much lower and it's going down, not going up. So along with the time, it will have tremendous saving for the institutional clients and for
I
the
see.
individual customers. For
Well, I can
individual,
tell you, Wallace, I had a bad experience with Zoom. I was in the middle of interview and someone hacked into my computer, and it was just very embarrassing. But I was able to manage to remove that content in my Zoom call, and it turned out to be a really, really good video recording. But I had to have a video guy to fix it. But I understand what you're saying, in terms of security, because it is something that you have to be careful of when you're doing digital communication. I remember also I had an experience where I was asked to download their app, and then in the middle of the night, I was seeing some notification that they were taking my contact information. And I was like, I really didn't understand. So I had to remove that app. And I feel like they're stealing all my list of contacts. And that's not cool. So I had to remove that. So with this, I think it will help people protect their own contact informations, right? With their connections by using your product.
so this is part of the benefits, and these are the criminal activity that we're talking about. These are illegal, but even with our regular operation, our regular use of the internet, for example, you are using browser, you are using Chrome, Safari, or IE, Firefox, whatever browser, and all your behavior are kept in the cookie. So the cookie data is captured by the developer, by
Mhm.
third-party web providers, and also your ISP. And all this data that is supposed to owned by you, managed by you, and you supposed to be able to make profit out of the data. Or you need to be able to make decision, oh, I'm not going to share this data. But actually for
Yeah,
now.
yeah. Hold on for a minute. Okay, hold on.
Sure.
All right, sorry about that. Okay, so I think this is such great information already. I think for the people that are going to be watching this talk show, please do share it to other people. And if you need to reach out to Wallace, you can go ahead and do that. He provided his contact information and his website. I think this is going to be really, really good for your business. And if you have any other questions, just let me know, and I can even share that to him if you need to send me the questions. Okay, but anyway, Wallace, thank you so much for your time. And I really, really appreciate, oh, he gave me the, let me check the chat here,
I'll send
information
you
that you,
my email address. So if anyone has business interest or would like to know more, then welcome to
okay.
send an email.
All right, I will keep that information. And again, if people wants to send a message directly to Wallace, just let me know and I can give you his email. But anyway, thank you so much. I hope you're having an amazing week, and I'm sure you're busy, like just like everyone else in terms of communicating digitally. And hopefully, I can schedule you again and maybe do an event where we can learn more about your program. Would that be a possibility, Wallace?
Sure, definitely. You're welcome. I'm very happy to share my thought with everyone, and hope you have a wonderful weekend as well. And for everybody who is watching this video, that just check it out, Alpha Browser, to protect your digital privacy. This is very, very important.
All right. Thank you so much, Wallace. You're amazing. Okay. And I will be talking to you soon.
Thank you, Marie.
All right.
Have a
Okay.
wonderful
Bye
weekend.
now.